is Ostuni, and welcome to another episode of What's My Loadout in Warframe. So I just got up from a nap, and I'm going to try to actually knock out a few of these episodes in a day, because I need to actually get a little bit of a backlog. So I'm not recording these the night of, or the night before they're actually supposed to be out to you guys, because I made a promise. I want to do one of these videos every day up until Hydroid Prime is released. If I still have more to do after that, I may have Warframe loadouts that aren't in slots that I might do. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do, and I'm sticking to it. So let's get on with the next episode. Last time we did Excalibur, standard build and everything like that. However, this one is gonna be something interesting. So today we have Mirage, Le HARLEQUIN frame of doom, and I need to remember to tell one of my coworkers about this, because he is a huge HARLEQUIN fan. He will probably get a kick out of seeing this Warframe. So, also, interesting little fact, in the next round of female primes, which should come up after Hydroid Prime, Mirage is one of the next two. I don't know if she's immediately next after Hydroid Prime or if she comes before, but she's one of the two that's going to come after. So that ought to be really cool to see what exactly we get with a Mirage Prime. But anyway, this is regular Mirage for right now. So let's get down to it. So as far as fashion frame goes, got the HARLEQUIN helmet. You pretty much gotta do that shit. I've been thinking about actually getting the Grax skin, though, because once again, another great Grax skin design. So I may look into getting that in the future. Let's see. As far as attachments go, pretty simple stuff. I have the Pakal set on the greaves and on the shoulders, but I decided to go with the Acanthus Prime chest plate, and that is from the Reaper Prime Access Accessories. So it's going to be a little while before you guys get it again, if you didn't get it while Reaper Prime, or while Necros Prime was out. I probably said that wrong to begin with, but Necros Prime's Prime Access Pack is where you got the signed in. So it's going to be a bit before anyone else really sees it again that didn't get it when it was available. But let's see. That's pretty much it for as far as fashion frame goes. I don't really have a bunch of different colors to show you guys with her. This is pretty much the best one that I've got. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done this design too, as far as Mirage goes. I would be more surprised if I got flack on it because it was unoriginal or anything like that, because so many people probably do this. But here's the thing. Let me go ahead and go into her build. So I pretty much have a very simple build for her. I have energy siphon, get that energy per second up, redirection, continuity, streamline, intensify, natural talent to actually decrease the amount of cast time for her number 4, which is pretty useful. I have vigor, let's see, streamline, I'm not sure if I said that already, may have, who knows. Then I have primed flow here for that great energy pool. Let's see, how much energy does she have? 563, not bad. And then I actually have Hall of Malevolence, because I actually really like to use her Hall of Mirrors ability with this build. I think a lot of people do, but you'll see why in particular. Like, I have built her weapons around this a pretty good bit too. So the damage to your doppelgangers is increased by 5% every time you kill an enemy in Hall of Malevolence. So I, through my weapons, have actually stacked this in my favor, and I'll show you guys what I mean by that. Because my primary is the Dragoon. Now, in case you guys don't know, the Dragoon is a Grineer-designed shotgun, basically, or, well, more like a flat cannon of death. that you can actually hold down the fire button and you can actually concentrate how much the spread is for this. So pretty fun little weapon to play around with. Somebody that I used to play the game a lot with recommended this weapon, and I can see why. It is pretty fucking cool. But this weapon really shines with her Hall of Mirror abilities, because like you're just throwing so much shrapnel all over the place. You're bound to not only hit something, but you're pretty much guaranteed to kill something. So as far as my build goes, I already see one thing in particular that I really need to do, but I have Hell's Chamber and Primed Point Blank. Then I have Blaze, Shell Shock, Toxic Barrage, and Frigid Blast. I probably need to get that last dual stat mod in order to actually get a pretty decent status chance. It's at 48, so to be honest, I don't think that another 60 is really going to put me at a good place as far as status chance. So to be honest with you guys, you are probably better off with going with a pure damage. So going with your 90 elemental damage mods, forming it up if you have to. Let's see. And then I have Fatal Acceleration because the projectiles on the Dragoon are a little slow. Now, here's the thing though. The Dragoon, there was an update a little while back where you were actually able to play in a Grenier-style arena, and through doing some of that content, you can actually earn a mod for the Dragoon specifically. I don't have it. I thought I did at one point, but whenever I do a revisited video for Mirage, especially whenever Mirage Prime comes out, I will definitely have that mod by then, and I will cover her again with it and show you guys how much of a difference that makes. Probably form this up a time or two. Give me something to do while I'm waiting on other little content to cover for you guys. But next, the XonE. This is pretty much Mirage's signature weapon that was introduced along with her, and ain't a bad weapon, I have to say. I enjoy it. Now, once again, this is one of those situations where I'm going to have these mods to actually get me to a certain point as far as damage goes. But as you could see from the status chance, don't really go for status chance unless you have a Riven mod that really encourages it. Just go ahead and go with straight damage if you can afford the Forma and everything like that. But pretty much it's as simple as it can get. You basically want all four 90% damage element mods. I have the dual mods just to get my dual element elements, if that's a thing. Convulsion though is basically my go-to as far as my 190 because it already had a dash polarity, so I'm a fan of electricity. I'm a fan of the elements that it creates, with fire for radiation, for poison you get corrosive, and for frost you get magnetic. I'm a fan of all those. Let's see, next got Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion, Lethal, Torrent to get all of those all that great fucking shit as far as like multi-shot and everything like that. You want as much damage as you can fucking get. Yeah, things everybody knows. So, last weapon that I have is the Lacera. This is a blade and chain, or blade and grappling hook in this case, weapon. This is actually, I want to say this is actually the second one they introduced. This is pure elemental damage. And as you can see, I have taken advantage of this fully. So this is actually something that's really interesting. With 3 status, dual element status mods here, I've gotten to 100% status chance, which is good because you can actually use a lot of that room to get more damage from your elements. So for instance right here I got Shocking Touch and I got Molten Impact, And then I have primed reach, because that is pretty good to have on a weapon that already has some pretty decent reach. As far as reach goes, my opinion on that is, if you're using it on a weapon that has a pretty good amount of reach, go ahead and increase the reach even more. Like, you'll actually get something out of it. If it is close range, I wouldn't really bother with it. You're going to wind up having to get in somebody's face anyway, so it's not really going to help you all that much. Then I have primed Fury as my, I have regular Fury apparently, with my attack speed. I don't think you really have to go with, oh, well that's why. Crit chance is at 2.5%. That is actually lower, like, that's the lowest I've ever seen a crit chance get for a melee weapon. That is, wow. Then I have primed pressure point. Now, like I said, pure element damage, don't even bother putting one of your slash damage mods on there or anything like that. You're not getting anything out of it. Just go full element, get your status chance on there 100%. And wait a minute. I just had an idea, because I don't know if I can do it now. Let me see. Maybe I can. I bet. You know what? Yeah, I think I'll do it for this video to show you guys something. So I'm going to do something really stupid, but this will show you just how jacked up this weapon could really get. Because we have 100% status chance, and if you guys who are veteran players know, if you guys see the mod that I'm referring to for this, shit's about to get real, because I'm going to take off Fury, and I'm going to take off primed reach to get a little bit of room, so I can put on this mod, Condition Overload. And I think I covered this in the last video, but I'm going to reiterate what it can do and why you should have this mod for any status melee weapon. You get plus 60% melee damage for each status type afflicting the target, and we have 100% chance, which means that we will proc radiation, we will proc viral. So we get an extra 120% melee damage on this. I'm pretty sure that's how it'll translate into this. So I'm kind of interested to see how that turns out. I may have gotten that wrong, because you may actually have to have like a blade type damage to actually get the most out of it, but we'll find out here in a second. I don't have a specific companion for Mirage in mind, so not really important to go over. Like I said, I do have a layout or two that does rely on it. If I ever do cover those, I will let you guys know. For instance, whenever I cover Hydroid Prime, not this coming up week, but the next on the 29th, I actually do have a companion worth mentioning, and he is fucking awesome. And yes, it is a he, it is not a robot, so, or well, actually it's a her, not a robot, so hint hint on that. Alright, so we are going to go to... You know, for some reason I can't get enough of the Void as of late. I really enjoy going back to the Void to do this stuff, because it reminds me of just so many good times that I've had with this game. So let's see. I'm just making sure. Yeah, we're probably going to go with the Oxomoko. Oh, wait. Nope. We're going solo. And I know that some people may look at that and be all like, dude, you're a Mirage. What the fuck are you doing? I'm doing it so I can actually kill shit and show you guys all my weapons and abilities at work. If I die once or twice, that's my fucking business, and for you guys to be able to laugh at in the comments. Yeah! Alright, so let's get down to business to fuck up their shit. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so let's get some Dragoon action. I'm going to show you its standard fire first, So, let's see. Let me aim at a darker area. So you can see how, with Hall of Malevolence attached to that, oh Jesus fucking Christ, I just killed the shit out of him. So, with Hall of Malevolence on, you can imagine just how much more apeshit insane this is gonna get. And I'll show you guys that whenever we actually get to harder enemies. But I'm gonna show you guys the alternative way of firing it, where you actually charge your projectile. You can actually hold it as long as you want. It's not like you get it all the way charged and then you have to fire it. So watch. Well, wait. And a nice, big, meaty fucking square is what you get whenever you charge it up. This weapon doesn't have a whole lot in as far as each magazine. But that's not too bad, because I don't think the reload speed really reflects it. I think you can actually reload this weapon pretty quick. Yeah, that's not too bad. There we go. And yeah, it's not like a Supra like reload speed or anything like that. I think it's because you actually have like less rounds in the chamber that the reload speed is decent. They actually put Seeking Fury, now that I think about this, because how cool would it be to actually have this weapon actually use or have punch through, so he could actually punch through like small walls and shit like that. Because I'm sure this has some innate punch through, but just to take that up just a little bit more would be so cool. But let me, like I said, guys, let me know how you feel about any of my loadouts. Constructive criticism, please. I know that, like, some of this stuff is kind of outdated, and I don't have the most advanced mods. But then again, I haven't touched a lot of these loadouts in a while. So there is that. So I'm going to use the XonE next, and bam. Pretty simple. You just fire away and you're gonna probably kill some shit. No other real way that I can explain that. Like, they are dual machine guns and they hit pretty hard. Ooh, that actually reminds me. I know that because of what we've seen from Hydroid Prime, or actually, this is more of a guesstimate, to be honest. I don't know. But I would like to think that if Mirage Prime is right around the corner, I'm willing to bet we're actually going to get a Prime XonE too. I think that would be pretty sweet, because the reason I say that is because Hydroid Prime is getting the primed Nami Scala with its Prime access, and the Prime Ballistica being the second weapon that comes with it. So that would be pretty cool to see what a Prime XonE could really do. But then again, I'm sure that maybe this is floating around too, because I know this was floating around for the dual swords. Maybe we actually have too many dual machine guns. I'm not sure. But I know that, like, we could probably do with another viable one is probably the thing. But I think the XonE pretty much speaks for itself as far as what it does. So let's move on to the last Sora. And by the way, the stance is Defiled Snapdragon. So let's see. Ooh, jeez. So pretty big damage, I noticed, like 900 from a single strike. So I guess, like, I wonder if that mod actually works, like, after the status mod has been inflicted, or if, like, it works, like, as soon as you do it. Like, the strike that actually afflicts them with the status chance actually is where you actually get your bonus damage. But then again, I am not really having any problem killing any of these guys. Whoop. Rubido. Hey! Gotta get that shit out of my face. Alright. God. Nice fucking combos with that. Something also to note, I don't really have a dislike for pure element weapons. On my Hydroid, I actually run the Staticore, and that's one of my favorite sidearms in the entire game. So there's that, and this seems to get the job done too. I've used primed Silva in Aegis 2, and I like it too. So yeah, that I like it. I like it. I'm gonna be one of the weird people. But for now, I think it's time to really show you just how crazy this build can get. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my Hall of Mirrors, and we're gonna fuck some shit up. So here we go. God, just all the shrapnel! All the shrapnel! Jesus. The damage is getting insane! All that friggin' shrapnel just all over the place. Alright, so that's pretty much how you, that works out. I saw my damage increase a bit as I was actually using... Took his head off with a big old square chunk of shrapnel. My damage was increasing as I actually got the kills on the enemy. So, yeah, I mean, things work. Like, it works and everything like that. As far as if you don't really want to try filling the room with shrapnel, you're always welcome to choose a more precise weapon, which is why I have the XonE here. Let's see, hold on. Yeah. Oh. Come on. Alright. That reminds me, at some point I need to get, like, a nice little configuration. Or I actually need to get, like, prime continuity at some point so I can actually keep up these abilities. Especially for Octavia, because I love Octavia, because I actually found a song online, and it's actually part of the One Punch Man theme song. So fans of One Punch, go on to YouTube. You can find that shit, and it is pretty cool. But like, she just has to cast her abilities so much. I would like, and I understand like having to actually pay attention to everything like that. And, like, it's not that I'm lazy. It's just that, you know, I don't want to have my eyes glued to, like, the timer, like, every time I cast her abilities. So, at some point, I'm definitely getting prime continuity. Let's see. Let's throw out a disco ball real quick. Haven't done that in a while. God, that is an ability that doesn't get a lot of, love, in my opinion. Oh, it has a little sound effect. Hold up. Boink. 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 Alright. That makes me wonder. Oh, Jesus! That was something I was not expecting. But, that actually makes me wonder something. If, huh. That's weird. Oh, no. I thought I got stuck. I wonder how Mirage's abilities will differ cosmetically from the standard Mirage. Because, in case you guys are new to the game, whenever a Prime Warframe uses its powers, they cosmetically are different than the standard version's abilities. Like, shoot, what's a really good word? Oh yeah, the fourth ability of Frost Prime, and this actually goes for Ember Prime too, whenever they use their fourth ability, whenever either Ice in Frost's case or Fire in Ember's case erupts from the ground, they're little gold accents that you can actually see come up out of the ground. So that's the difference there. I actually took a close look at and if you guys want to too, because I don't think we're going to see more of Hydroid Prime until just the Prime release on the 29th. But if you guys take a look at the last, on the Warframe website's page, the link that promotes DevStream 97, I think, the one where they actually showed off Hydroid Prime, if you look closely, you can actually see that his tentacles are actually going to be much more detailed. And who knows, maybe the actual creature that emerges from the ground whenever you actually use the tentacles will be different too. So, just little things like that. And I'm wondering how Mirage's abilities are going to change. Like, is she going to shoot out an Orkin Sphere? Like, whenever she actually does her Prism ability? I had to actually change abilities just to remember exactly what they call it. But little things like that I'm wondering about. Speaking of primes that I'm really curious about, one that I'm really curious about, and I'm sure you guys are too, and in case you didn't know this too, this is coming sooner rather than later. Well, kind of later. Limbo Prime will be the next male Prime Warframe on the block, but we have to get through Mesa and Mirage first. So that's a good 6 months away? Like maybe 9 months, I think. But I wonder how his abilities will cosmetically differ, because the thing is that like the Prime Warframes have a lot of Orkin influence, and Orkin have a lot to do with just the concept of the Void. And Limbo is all about the Void. So I'm wondering just how much different he's gonna really be. Like, not like I'm saying, like, not that he can't be different. I'm just wondering what they're gonna do for him, because it's gonna be interesting to see, and I'm sure that we're gonna get a frame that is very, very good looking, very elegant, and very dapper as well. Probably a really, really fancy top hat. Jesus, I hate this thing. But yeah, another thing about these videos too is that even if I don't have the best layouts and stuff like that, I get to discuss little things like these with you guys. So that's something that'll be interesting. So if you guys have an opinion on like little cosmetic changes you would like to see whenever a certain prime, like maybe Mesa or Mirage, or like I was just saying, Limbo comes out, let me know, because I'm curious to what you guys have to say too. But yeah, who is the frame that will get a prime that's male after Limbo? I don't know. Part of me says that it's Chroma. Like, Chroma would be interesting to see, like, a prime for. Like, he would definitely, like, I think whenever Chroma gets a prime, I think the biggest change for him will be that his, like, rugged design, especially on, like, his cloak and everything like that, will become a lot smoother. Fucking bitch. But yeah, that, like, we are just in for, like, this coming up, like, right after Hydroid Prime, and even with Hydroid Prime, in my opinion, we are in for a lot of really interesting primes coming. Like, I don't think that there's going to be one that people are just, like, about, because for a while we had stuff like Banshee, which I think some people kind of wore off on a little bit. We had Trinity too. And, like, you can get Trinity on, like, WarframeMarket.com, like, if you're looking up what prices people want to sell her for, like, practically nothing, like, less than 100 platinum right now. So I'm really interested to see just how desirable these future primes are going to be. Because like I said, the next 3 alone, Mirage, Mesa, Limbo, like those are going to make DE some fucking money with their prime accesses. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to know the next video is coming out. And question of the day, how do you guys mod for Mirage, and what kind of weapons do you use? I'm actually curious about this again. I know I wasn't with Excalibur because there's not really a lot to Excalibur, but there's a lot to Mirage, especially with weapons. I'm really curious to see, like, people say what kind of weapons they use with her whenever they use her Hall of Space Mom. I'm trying to talk to my friends. But I'm curious to see what you guys use, especially with like Hall of Mirrors, to actually get the most out of that ability. My go-to is Dragoon. You guys may see it different, and you guys may actually have a better idea on what to use. So let me know in the comments below. And the next Warframe on the block, and I'm pretty sure I know who it is. Oh, alright. So, Vauban is next, so that ought to be fun. I really like using Vauban Prime, and I haven't used him in a while, ironically, so this ought to be a fun video coming up next. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Ostuni signing off. Yeah!